Ah, snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. All I wish for every day was Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. And another one. Feliz Navidad, do 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 do. Feliz Navidad, do 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 do. Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. Make my wish come true, and baby, all I want for Christmas is you. I'm driving home for Christmas, and we have jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, rock on, jingle bells, swing and jingle bells ring. That's the jingle bells rock. It's a bright time, it's a right time to rock this night away. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the way I used to know. This is featured in Christmas Vacation. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, down in Santa Claus Lane. And in that particular scene, the police are coming to the Griswold's mansion, let's say, to their house, to arrest Clark Griswold because of kidnapping. You know, we could say, yippee-ki-yay, Santa Claus! Hi there guys, I hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel called Blast in the Past, and today is Christmas Eve. So I was at the gym doing my training routine, and I've decided to record something for this occasion. So it will be the first time ever probably when it's Blast in the Past raw, unplugged. So as little editing as possible, I'll try to make it sweet and short and sweet. Like I said, very little editing, close to none, I hope so. And I'll talk about some Christmas films, my favorite ones. Probably I will not list all of them because first of all it's impossible, second of all I'm playing it by ear, so it's spontaneous, so probably it's very certain that I will miss something out. But still, nonetheless, I think that this is the right time. It's only once a year that you have a chance to watch something. So without further ado, buckle up and let's get the ball rolling, shall we? So first of all, I have some piles with the films. They are not segregated, so let me just have a look at what I have here. So I see that the first one is a real classic, Home Alone. This is a Blu-ray release, a pretty decent one. I know that it's been released on the 4K. What can I say about it that hasn't been said by everybody else, by all the critics? It's a classic, great songs, a fantastic atmosphere, so this is a must-see at Christmas, definitely. Kevin McAllister, the McAllisters, so wow, this is something special. Coming up next, what do we have in here? There was a sequel, obviously, with Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone in New York. Also, very worth seeing. This is a good recommendation. At some point in the past, I thought that it was even better than the first one, but right now I think that it is a tad worse. But I remember that great scene in which he meets that bird lady, and he tells her a very touchy, very moving story, kind of an anecdote about his past, that the heart is like ice skate shoes. So he bought them and he never wanted to use them because they would wear out, and after all he grew out of them. And this is with the heart, if it's not used, so it may just it may be of no use anymore. So that's why you have to use your heart. A very good message, very important one also during this period. What else do we have in here? Obviously, so we have another classic, Christmas Vacation, starring Chevy Chase. This is really one of the must-see at Christmas. So obviously this is the whole pack, but I'm talking about Christmas Vacation, the second one, one of the best Christmas films, and it has so many memorable scenes, like for example, the scene with Grace. Grace, say Grace. Grace? Grace is dead. No, Grace before the meal. And the aunt in the family, she stands up and she says, I plead allegiance to America, to the United States, the flag, the country which it stands for. This is fantastic, really. And it's a barrel of laughs. I can't get enough of this film. And of course, like his boss, after all, he says, Clark, it is thanks to little people, people like you, who make a difference, that make this company special. And all the things, really, all the shenanigans, But there is one scene which I'm not a fan of, so the whole sequence with a squirrel. Not my cup of tea, but other than that, it's fantastic also. What's next? Oh, so we have a pretty modern film also. I saw it at the cinema. Daddy's Home too, and I was really surprised with how good this film turned out to be, how good it was. Great cast, great chemistry. The first one had nothing to do with Christmas. The second one, Daddy's Home too, is a Christmas film, and to me, it's a modern classic. Really, it's worth seeing, definitely. Mel Gibson, John Lithgow, Mark Wahlberg, John Cena, fantastic. What's next? Oh, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is a German release. Versprochen ist versprochen, so I think it's something like what is promised is promised. And this is also a pretty underappreciated flick, so it wasn't very well received at the time of its premiere, but now I think it's a cult classic, at least in my books. So Arnold Schwarzenegger is fantastic as a business owner, or he running his own business, and this is fun, with his accent, with his persona. Nonetheless, let's turn a blind eye on that, and he's looking for the Turbo Man, the doll, and this is fantastic when he goes to a shop and he says, or he asks the clerks, where is the Turbo Man? And they say, this guy, he wants the Turbo Man, come on, you have to hear that. He wants the Turbo Man, because it's completely sold out, obviously. Also, a very nice watch. It's a must-see at Christmas. Right now, what do we have here? Oh, this is great because it's a Wonderful Life. It's a classic, and a fun fact is that I've never seen it. I've only seen some clips of it here and there, so only some bits, only some parts. And this is actually a very special release because also it includes 3 color version, and I'm a fan of those colored versions, so I'll give it a go, maybe even this Christmas. We'll see, because it's a classic worth visiting and revisiting, that's for sure. Worth checking out. What's next on my list? Let me have a look here. Oh, so we have this one, Planes, Trains and Automobiles with John Candy, Steve Martin, a fantastic film. It's not a Christmas film per se, because actually it's about Thanksgiving, coming back home to celebrate it with the family, but the clash of the personalities, the chemistry between the 2 actors, this is really great. It's been released also on Blu-ray, I have it somewhere, I don't know where, and also on the 4K, which is disastrous in terms of the quality, but if you haven't seen it, so it's a Thanksgiving / Christmas film. Highly recommended, and it has also so many memorable scenes, and singing also this "Everybody's gonna mess around." John Candy, classic. What's next? We have this one. Actually, I've never seen it. Prancer. It's a Prancer about the famous or infamous reindeer, not Rudolph. I've heard it's pretty good, so we'll see about that. Never seen it before. And now we have, this is Scrooged with Bill Murray. So it's a very atypical retelling of the novel by Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol, about Ebenezer Scrooge. In this case, he's a CEO of some TV channel, I don't remember, but of course he doesn't feel the Christmas spirit, he doesn't value Christmas, he wants violence, he wants all the nasty stuff just to draw the attention of people during the Christmas period, during the apex, during the busiest time slot, obviously. But as in the original novel, he undergoes a change, and it's worth seeing. But really, it's so funny, it's so hilarious that this is another classic from the, if I'm not mistaken, the 1980s. Here we have some random things a little bit. The 12 Dogs of Christmas, never seen it. I don't know, maybe I'll give it a go. Deck the Halls, I've seen it twice. It's a tad disappointing, especially taking into account the cast. So you have Danny DeVito, Matthew Broderick. That's a shame, it's a little bit undercooked, just like Christmas with the Cranks. You had Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd, and Tim Allen, but it was a little bit not funny. So for a comedy, it's a disaster, sometimes stretched. There is some Christmas spirit, but really, I've seen better, that's for sure. Now we have, I think the title is Santa Who, with Leslie Nielsen, or this is a low-budget flick. Well, on the bright side, on the bright note and the positive one, so at least it takes place at Christmas, and it stars Leslie Nielsen, but it's not the first caliber of Christmas films, that's for sure. And then, what do we have in here? Actually, Oh, now let's get gory a little bit. So this is Better Watch Out. I remember I've seen it once. It's a film from 2016, I suppose. And this is a thriller actually, so maybe not the best pick at Christmas for Christmas, but it takes place at Christmas. And what is more important, it has a very interesting plot twist. So it comes highly recommended, thanks to the plot twist, but also it's very well directed. So this is something interesting. Maybe not if you want to celebrate Christmas in a peaceful atmosphere, but if you just want to see a good film, highly recommend it. What's next? Never seen this one. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. No idea what it is. Then, a modern classic, Elf, with Will Ferrell. Really, I was blown away with this film and by this film the first time I watched it. So no wonder that it has developed a cult following since its premiere, because it's a touching, moving story about a real life elf, actually a human being who thinks he's an elf but he's not, and then he decides to leave the North Pole and look for his father, played by James Caan. And the chemistry between them is fantastic. And James Caan, you know the actor, he always serious, high strung, and he doesn't take no for an answer. And he has this guy who is allegedly his son. Fantastic. Then, oh, this is actually a very interesting position, a pretty old one, an oldie goldie, with Charles Bronson, if I'm not mistaken, as a journalist, as a reporter, writing an article about Santa Claus. So he receives a letter, and I think that the title of the film is Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. And she starts doubting in Santa Claus. I don't remember, but I remember that also. It's a very touching, moving film. The Blu-ray quality is top-notch. Unfortunately, it's a Region A release, so if you have a European player, you won't be able to watch it. So that's a shame, but the film comes highly recommended. What's next? Oh my goodness. Actually, I don't know the title of this film in English. Der Weihnachtswunsch. I think it's a Christmas wish. Starring Leah Thompson. So it's a low budget flick, and Leah Thompson, we know her from Back to the Future. Actually, it's a pretty decent film. It has this nice Christmas vibe, atmosphere, the Yule atmosphere, the climate. So the story is also touching and moving, and it sends the positive message. So if you have a chance to see it, why not? Something new for a change, instead of watching all the time the same films, Christmas classics, right? Then I have this one. It's not a Christmas film per se, but it takes place at Christmas in the winter time, and we have Edward Scissorhands with Johnny Depp by Tim Burton. And maybe it's not a typical Christmas film, but definitely it's one of the, maybe even the best films ever. So this is the Polish Blu-ray release, this is the Polish DVD release, and I also have a UK one for a good measure. So it's a triple dipping, whatever. But if you haven't seen by some miracle, by some chance this film, you have to give it a go, because it's a very captivating, moving, emotionally driven story, and the Christmas atmosphere, it also helps, and it's memorable, the ending, everything. Even men may shed a tear or two even whilst watching this film. Next we have Love Actually, and actually, non-pun intended, I'm not a big fan of this. It has this mosaic composition, so many stories shown one after another. I don't remember if they are intertwined or not, but there is one pretty strange element, that there is a story about some actors who participate, who play in some adult films, and you know what they do in adult films in that industry. I don't remember exactly, but I know that in some TV cable releases, showings, airings, they removed that subplot completely. But come on, what kind of a Christmas film it is if it shows, nude scenes and all that? Christmas spirit is not about it. So I'm not a big fan of it, but it features a star-studded cast, a stellar cast, and there is a nice song also, like a cover of a Wet, Wet, Wet song, Love Is All Around, I think. Christmas is all around me. This one. Okay. I prefer Holiday in terms of the more modern films, that's for sure, with Jack Black, Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, and Jude Law. So that was a pretty good film. Really. So I could come back to it every now and then, at every Christmas even. And we have this one. Oh, 12 Dogs of Christmas 2, The Great Puppy Rescue. So it's a sequel to the previous one, which I've shown already. Okay, I know. What's next? Oh, this is not a Christmas film, but we have also the first Die Hard. It takes place at Christmas. So many people do consider it a Christmas classic. And this is the whole collection. So, we could say, Yippee-ki-yay, Santa Claus! And now we have, oh, this one, I have no idea. I only remember that I've checked the scores, the ratings, and, well, it's not very good, that's for sure. A Christmas Too Many. Probably I will never even unpack it, so we'll see. And this is not a Christmas film, but actually it's a bonus because I got it today as a gift, let's say, from somebody. So he was giving it away. And Cosmopolis by Cronenberg. I watched it some time ago, only once. I'm not sure whether I finished it, but it was a snooze fest a little bit. It was pretty slow, but I would like to give it a chance. It has nothing to do with Christmas, on the side note, please remember. And of course, there are many, many more classics. So, for example, there is not a Christmas film, but also it has this Christmas vibe. Uncle Buck with John Candy. So this is another great role, great performance of his. We have the Lethal Weapon franchise, the first one. Also, it takes place at Christmas, so many people consider it a Christmas flick. Just like Batman Returns. And actually, with Batman Returns, it's very difficult not to agree to, because there is a full-blown winter going on, snow falling and the blizzard there, so it has this Christmas atmosphere, although it's not a Christmas film per se, what we would consider a Christmas film. And off the top of my head, so I can't think of anything else. Probably I've missed something, I haven't mentioned something very important, but also I've been trying to show the releases. So apologies if I have skipped on your favorite film, if I have missed out on it. Probably I haven't mentioned some of my favorite films either, so maybe there'll be the next edition. Oh, I just remember Surviving Christmas. It's a very underappreciated flick with Ben Affleck, Christina Applegate, James Gandolfini. I really like coming back to it, and that's a shame. Unfortunately, I don't have this for this Christmas, alas, but maybe the next one or after the Christmas period before New Year's Eve, I will put my hands on it. We'll see. Just to wrap it up, remember that this is the Christmas time. Please spend this time with your family, appreciate your family members, because this is what is important. It's not about the gifts, about buying, even about picking out at the Christmas table. It's about meeting with your close ones, with the beloved ones, the family members, spending this time together finally at the Christmas table, talking, exchanging opinions, wishes, of course, and even with your friends, so it depends on the situation, but please appreciate them, because this is funny when people complain that, oh, they will be tired after Christmas or with Christmas because they have to go to so many places and spend so much money on gifts, but it's better to have someone to buy the gifts for and someone to spend that money on than to accumulate all that money and have it only for yourself. So don't be like Ebenezer Scrooge from Christmas Carol. Like he always said, oh, this is humbug. Christmas is humbug. Yeah, what is it about? I will lose one day of making a profit, turning a profit because of this. This is humbug. There is also a filmic adaptation of Christmas Carol with the Muppets, and this starring Michael Caine. This is also great. This is also fantastic. And Michael Caine, in one of the scenes, he says to the character played by Kermit that Kermit asks his boss, oh, tomorrow is Christmas Eve, so I'll have a day off, yes? And the boss says, oh, Christmas Eve? So you may come to work 1 hour later. Oh, very generous of him, wasn't it? Anyhow, another great adaptation. There have been many adaptations of A Christmas Carol, also the one with Jim Carrey. It was an animated film by Robert Zemeckis. So the story is well known. Oh, there was Grinch also with Jim Carrey. I had it somewhere. Worth watching as well for practical effects. I remember that there was also Santa Claus, the movie, with Dudley Moore, John Lithgow. The cast was fantastic, but the film was missing some elements. I don't know. I remember I saw it and it just didn't click with me, didn't resonate with me. Although everything was there. The real sets, the decorations, the practical effects, the atmosphere of the 1980s, but I don't know, something just didn't click back then. Maybe I would need to give it a go next time. And of course, please remember about the Christmas songs, the Christmas carols as well, but I'm a fan of the Christmas songs, like we have so many of them, so off the top of my head, Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. Another one. Make my wish come true, and baby, all I want for Christmas is you. I'm driving home for Christmas, and we have jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, rock on, jingle bells, swing and jingle bells ring. That's the jingle bells rock. It's a bright time, it's a right time to rock this night away. What else do we have there? Of course there is snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. All I wish for every day was Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. And what else do we have there? I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the way I used to know. And also we have, this is featured in Christmas Vacation. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, down in Santa Claus Lane. And in that particular scene, the police are coming to the Griswold's mansion, let's say, to their house, to arrest Clark Griswold because of kidnapping. So this is hilarious, really. You may burst out laughing. And what else? Probably I've also missed, I haven't mentioned some of the other Christmas classics, but there are too many of them to remember all of them. So it was just off the top of my head because it's a spontaneous video. But remember, if you are a gym buff like myself, you take care of your physique, of your silhouette, you train hard. So this is one day, one time in the year when you may let it go. Don't follow any diet, just pick out at the Christmas table, eat whatever you want, especially if before that, before picking out, you've been following a very strict diet. It doesn't matter. This is this one time in a year when you don't have to worry about anything and the calories don't matter. So just to wrap it up, thank you very much, guys, for all your support, for following me, for liking my videos, for supporting the channel by commenting under the videos. I hope that you will do the same with this one and try to enjoy this Christmas time, the atmosphere, this positive vibe, regardless of the situation. Some people are in a better position, in a better spot in life. Some others are in a tad worse, but it's about enjoying the atmosphere, I think. Even if you are down on your luck, so this is this special time when everybody tries to be nicer. Even if it's a little bit fake and commercialized, still it's very nice when there is this positive attitude towards everything, the approach. So try to enjoy this time with your closest ones, with the family, and like I said, depending on the situation, maybe with your friends, or even if you are on your own, alone. So try not to be like Ebenezer Scrooge, to be a miserable person, because there is always something positive. And basically, don't be like myself and don't spend almost the whole Christmas time on watching Christmas films. Try to do something better. I urge you, I encourage you to do that. And with this positive message, on that positive note, I wish you all the best for Christmas. Merry Christmas. Enjoy this time. May it be a peaceful time, a time of joyfulness and cheerfulness and kindness. And this is a special time when miracles can happen, and they do happen. Thank you very much for your attention. As always, I hope that you will support this channel, you will spread the good news, because this is the season to be jolly, isn't it? And until next time, cheers.